A quick insight from FreshNews.ai. Today's headline, AI Visibility Index latest weekly update. AI systems continue to favor established leaders across most verticals this week, with a few notable gains in AI agent platforms and audiovisual AV integration. Law and relocation categories remain concentrated around a small set of highly cited firms, while infrastructure-focused sectors like identity security and customer success platforms show tight clusters of near-tied leaders. Last updated 2026-0505, data period 2026-0504 to 2026-0510. This report reflects the latest AI visibility data based on responses generated across multiple AI systems, including GPT and Gemini. It shows which brands are currently selected, cited, and recommended in AI-generated answers. Executive summary. Here are 5 takeaways. First, AI visibility remains concentrated in several verticals, with tightly clustered leaders in customer success platforms and identity security platforms, where top vendors are essentially tied by mentions. Second, legal categories such as personal injury law, immigration law, and criminal defense law, along with moving services, are dominated by a small number of nationally recognized firms that capture most AI citations. Third, AV integrators and co-op condo property management show notable mid-pack movement, with brands like CCS Presentation Systems, Creation Networks, Solutions Inc., REM Residential, and Brown Harris Stevens Residential Management gaining mentions week over week. Fourth, AI agent platforms exhibit active reshuffling among non-leaders, with Cognigy moving up to join the top cluster, and several mid-tier platforms such as ServiceNow, Intercom, LivePerson, and Replicant changing positions. Fifth, emerging brands across multiple sectors, such as Observe.ai, Vitally, Pods, Josh.ai, are beginning to appear in AI answers without yet displacing entrenched leaders, signaling gradual diversification of referenced vendors. Key insights. Here are 4 takeaways. First, verticals such as customer success platforms and identity security platforms show tightly clustered leaders, with 3 or more vendors essentially tied at the top by mentions, indicating mature, highly competitive markets where AI systems do not strongly favor a single provider. Second, categories like personal injury law, immigration law, and moving services remain concentrated around a few dominant brands, such as Morgan Morgan, Fragaman, Atlas Van Lines, suggesting that AI-generated answers in these areas are anchored on a small number of nationally recognized entities. Third, AV integrators and co-op condo property management exhibit more dynamic movement, with mid-tier brands such as Creation Networks, Solutions Inc., REM Residential, and Brown Harris Stevens Residential Management posting meaningful week-over-week gains, pointing to active competition for AI visibility below the top leaders. Fourth, across verticals, AI systems leaned on a mix of official brand sites and authoritative directories. Sector-specific hubs like avnetwork.com and my.cedia.org were heavily cited for AV and smart home installation, while general information sources such as n.wikipedia.org and chambers.com appeared in multiple legal and property management indexes, underscoring the role of both primary brand domains and third-party reference sites in shaping AI answers. Cross-vertical summary table. Vertical, top leader, mentions, notable change. AI agent platforms, Salesforce, 6, Cognigy gained 2 mentions week over week, 50, joining the top cluster at 6 mentions. AV integrators, AVI split, 18. CCS Presentation Systems added 2 mentions, 18.2, consolidating its third-place position at 13 mentions. Co-op Condo Property Management, First Service Residential, 12. Douglas Elliman Property Management dropped 3 mentions, negative 21.4, narrowing the gap to First Service Residential but weakening its position. Criminal Defense Law, Williams and Connolly Law, 13. No significant movement this week. Customer Success Platforms, Totango, 15. No significant movement this week. Digital Signing, Healthcare, ScreenCloud, 6. No significant movement this week. Family Law, Cordell and Cordell, 8. No significant movement this week. Identity Security Platforms, Ping Identity, 16. No significant movement this week. Immigration Law, Fragaman, Delray Burnson, Lowy Lowy Lapie, 15. No significant movement this week. Motorized Shade Systems, Hunter Douglas, 6. No significant movement this week. Moving Services, Atlas Van Lines, 15. No significant movement this week. Personal Injury Law, Morgan Morgan, 12. No significant movement this week. Smart Home Installation, Creston, 8. No significant movement this week. AI agent platforms. Salesforce, Ada, and Cognigy share the lead in AI agent platforms this week, each appearing in 6 AI-generated responses, reflecting a tightly clustered top tier. Rank, brand, mentions. 1. Salesforce, 6.2, Ada, 6, 6.3, Cognigy, 6. Notable movers. Here are 6 takeaways. First, Cognigy, up, gained 2 mentions week over week, 50, joining the top cluster at 6 mentions. Second, ServiceNow, up, added 2 mentions, 100, moving into the upper tier with 4 mentions. Third, Intercom, down, lost 2 mentions, negative 33.3, now at 4 mentions and slipping relative to peers. Fourth, LifePerson, up, increased by 2 mentions, 100, to reach 4 mentions this week. Fifth, Replicant, up, gained 2 mentions, 200, now at 3 mentions in AI agent platform queries. Sixth, MoveWorks, down, lost 2 mentions, negative 40, now at 3 mentions in AI agent platforms. AV integrators. AVI split and diversified are tied at the top of AV integrators, with 18 mentions each, while CCS presentation systems holds a solid third place with 13 mentions. Rank, brand, mentions. 1 AVI split, 18. 2 diversified, 18. 3 CCS presentation systems, 13. Notable movers. Here are 7 takeaways. First, CCS presentation systems up, added 2 mentions, 18.2, consolidating its third place position at 13 mentions. Second, Ford AV up, gained 1 mention, 10, reaching 11 mentions in AV integrators. Third, Ford down, lost 1 mention, negative 9.1, now at 10 mentions and just behind Ford AV. Fourth, Kinley up 1 mention, 20, reinforcing mid-pack visibility. Fifth, Solutions Inc. up, grew by 2 mentions, 100, now at 4 mentions. Sixth, AVI Systems up, gained 2 mentions, 100, reaching 4 mentions this week. Seventh, Creation Networks up, saw the largest jump in the category with 3 additional mentions, 300, now at 4 mentions. Co-op Condo Property Management. First Service Residential leads Co-op Condo Property Management with 12 mentions, followed closely by Douglas Elliman Property Management at 11, and Argo Real Estate at 7 mentions. Rank, brand, mentions. 1 First Service Residential, 12. 2 Douglas Elliman Property Management, 11. 3 Argo Real Estate, 7. Notable movers. Here are 8 takeaways. First, Douglas Elliman Property Management, down, dropped 3 mentions, negative 21.4, narrowing the gap to First Service Residential, but weakening its position. Second, Argo Real Estate, up 1 mention, 16.7, sharing third place by coverage. Third, Citadel Property Management Corp., down 1 mention, negative 12.5, now at 7 mentions. Fourth, REM Residential, up, added 2 mentions, 40, reaching 7 mentions and aligning with other third place players. Fifth, Brown Harris Stevens Residential Management, up, gained 1 mention, 20, now at 6 mentions in the category. Sixth, Midborough Management, up 1 mention, 25, reaching 5 mentions. Seventh, ACAM, up, increased by 1 mention, 25, now at 5 mentions. Eighth, Total Management NYC, down, lost 1 mention, negative 25, ending the week at 3 mentions. Criminal Defense Law. Williams & Connolly Law leads Criminal Defense Law with 13 mentions, ahead of Paul Weiss, Rifkind, Wharton, and Garrison Law at 9, and Given, Dunn & Crutcher Law at 7 mentions. Rank, brand, mentions. 1 Williams & Connolly Law, 13. 2 Paul Weiss, Rifkind, Wharton, and Garrison Law, 9. 3 Given, Dunn & Crutcher Law, 7. No significant movement this week. Customer success platforms, Totongo, Churn Zero, and PlanHat are effectively tied at the top of customer success platforms, each with 15 mentions in Aon responses. Rank, brand, mentions. 1 Totongo, 15. 2 Churn Zero, 15. 3 PlanHat, 15. No significant movement this week. Digital Signing Healthcare, ScreenCloud, 6. Leads Digital Signing Healthcare with 6 mentions, followed by Vizix and Rise Vision with 5 mentions each. Rank, brand, mentions. 1 ScreenCloud, 6. 2 Vizix, 5. 3 Rise Vision, 5. No significant movement this week. Family Law, Cordell and Rydell leads Family Law with 8 mentions, while Cohen, Clare, Lands, Griefer and Simpson Law and McKinley Irvin follow with 4 mentions each. Rank, brand, mentions. 1 Cordell and Cordell, 8. 2 Cohen, Clare, Lands, Griefer and Simpson Law, 4. 3 McKinley Irvin, 4. No significant movement this week. Identity security platforms. Ping Identity leads identity security platforms with 16 mentions, narrowing ahead of CyberArk and SailPoint, which each have 15 mentions. Rank, brand, mentions. 1 Ping Identity, 16. 2 CyberArk, 15. 3 SailPoint, 15. No significant movement this week. Immigration Law, Fragaman, Delray, Burnson, Lowy, Lapie, 15. Leads Immigration Law with 15 mentions, ahead of Greenberg, Traeger, Lapie, and Clasco Immigration Law Partners Law, each with 10 mentions. Rank, brand, mentions. 1 Fragaman, Delray, Burnson, Lowy, Lapie, 15. 2 Greenberg, Traeger, Lapie, 10. 3 Clasco Immigration Law Partners Law, 10. No significant movement this week. Motorized Shade Systems, Hunter Douglas leads Motorized Shade Systems with 6 mentions, while Somfy and QuoMotion follow closely with 5 mentions each. Rank, brand, mentions. 1 Hunter Douglas, 6. 2 Somfy, 5. 3 QuoMotion, 5. No significant movement this week. Moving Services. Atlas Van Lines leads Moving Services with 15 mentions, followed by North American Van Lines with 12 and Allied Van Lines with 11 mentions. Rank, brand, mentions. 1 Atlas Van Lines, 15. 2 North American Van Lines, 12. 3 Allied Van Lines, 11. No significant movement this week. Personal Injury Law. Morgan leads Personal Injury Law with 12 mentions, followed by the Cochrane Firm with 9 and Jacoby and Mears with 7 mentions. Rank, brand, mentions. 1 Morgan, 12. 2 the Cochrane Firm, 9. 3 Jacoby and Mears, 7. No significant movement this week. Smart Home Installation. Creston leads Smart Home Installation with 8 mentions, with Savant close behind at 7 and ADT at 6 mentions. Rank, brand, mentions. 1 Creston, 8. 2 Savant, 7. 3 ADT, 6. No significant movement this week. Methodology. This index is based on grounded AI responses generated across multiple models, including GPT and Gemini. Only responses with verifiable sources were included to improve consistency and trustworthiness. Explore full index. Here are 10 takeaways. First, link. 2 link. 3 link. 4 link. 5 link. 6 link. 7 link. 8 link. 9 link. 10 link. What this means. Here are 3 takeaways. First, in mature infrastructure-oriented categories such as customer success platforms and identity security platforms, near-type leaders suggest that AI systems treat multiple vendors as interchangeable options, making incremental visibility gains harder to achieve. Second, highly concentrated verticals like key legal specialties and moving services show that nationally recognized brands continue to dominate AI-generated recommendations, leaving limited room for regional or niche firms to surface without targeted authority-building efforts. Third, dynamic mid-pack movement in AV integrators and co-op condo property management indicates active competition just below the top tier, where relatively small week-over-week changes in mentions can shift shift brand positioning with AI responses. Read more at FreshNews.ai.